So back on, I think it was June 30th, we got our goats. We've got 4 Nubian goats. They're quadruplets. I'll introduce you to them. And then first week of July, we went and picked up the sheep. I got a whole crazy video on picking up the sheep. And then the following week, or 2 weeks later, I guess, Eve brought down our 3 lambs that weren't quite ready to be weaned from their mom yet. So we have 2 ewe lambs and we have a meat lamb. And the meat lamb is going to go to freezer camp in November. That's going to be the first animal that we harvest after the meat birds. And I got to tell you, it's going to be hard. He's friendly, he's cute. Funny how I think they noticed the camera. So this is Julius. He's a boy, he's weathered. And then this is Juliet with the brown ears. This, we call her Princess Juliet. She walks so dainty, and she's usually a few steps behind the other ones. And then this is Jewel, who's got the little brown spot on her head. And this is Juniper, right here. Juniper and Jewel look very similar, except Juniper has a full white spot on her head. And then this is a little feller. Hey bud, how you doing this morning? So he's a Katahdin, he's a pure Katahdin, but as they're a composite breed, every once in a while, you've got these horns that show up. So unfortunately for him, that was sort of a one-way ticket to freezer camp when he was born. He's not a breeder, and certainly not gonna just weather a sheep and have him hanging around. Not on this farm anyway. No free rides on this farm. These guys are my my brush eaters, and we're gonna breed the girls next year and do goat's milk soap and lotions and that kind of thing as well, and probably obviously breed purebred Nubian goats. So this guy is awesome. We'll definitely get some video of him playing. He thinks he's a goat now. He couldn't be with the girls, and he can't be with the boys down in the boys club because they'd probably kill him. So he's in here with the goats for a couple more months. But here's our girls over here. Looks like they're all good with hay this morning and with water. So they're all set, and been giving them grass, and looks like they got a couple more days of grass in that paddock I made for them. So this is Baby Bit. She's our leader. She's our lead sheep. They all follow her. And then that is Willow. And then this is Clarice. And here's Misty. Lying down. Hey, Misty. And here's Baba. Baba having some breakfast. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not... Yeah, that's Willow. The brown one here is Willow. And then here's Sienna over here. Hey, Sienna. Clarice and Misty are definitely still kind of nervous around us. Hey, Sienna. So this is Baby Bit over here. Come here, baby. You come see me? So peaceful this morning. Here are the boys down the hill. We'll go take a look at them, and then we'll take care of the meat chickens. So here's our hay feeders. My dad put these together for us. A piece of roofing from Lowe's, and then a bunch of the wood that we had laying around, and a bunch of wood that got milled from those big 8-foot logs that we showed you in a previous video. And if you take a look over here, you can see we got so much flooring and panels and 4x4s and 6x6s and some big giant slabs. We even got a bunch of slabs over there that'd be awesome to make signs. So want to make a live free or die sign for New Hampshire, and make one for our farm as well. But we got a bunch of awesome wide planks. I'll give you a closer look at that, and I want to see about having those planed and milled and use them as flooring in our bedrooms in the house that we're going to build. And there's a shot of our barn over there, which is hopefully in the next couple weeks going to be done. We'll get the roof on there and the siding on there. And then I've still got more to do over the next year, as we're going to try to put some little addition wings on the side, or lean-tos on the side, one to park the tractor under, and then one for a workshop over on that side. So that's coming along. Let's go take a look at the boys, and then we'll go feed the meat chickens out there. What's the matter, Juliet? You lost or something? What's the matter? Come here. Come here. Hi. What's the matter, silly? Everything's good? You got your breakfast? I'll bring you some hay. Juniper. Alright, let's go meet the boys. Hey, girls. How you doing this morning, Sienna? You come see me? Nobody wants to come see me this morning. Oh, baby's gonna come see me. Come here, baby bit. That's my girl. How you doing? Come here. Come on. Come here. Let's give you some scratching. Come here. Yes. How's that, huh? No other takers. How you doing, Baba? She's one of the most skittish ones we have. She's the youngest of the 4 bigger ones. And then these 2 were born in April or May. And we got some post-breakfast shenanigans going on over here. They're always running and playing and jumping on the rocks in that wooden spool. Alright, let's go see the boys. So my lush wildflower garden didn't quite materialize this year, but we did get some to come in. See, there's a little more over here. Some of them have already bloomed and gone away. We get some more topsoil in here, build the soil up. I bought some more wildflowers, so we're going to reseed in here as well. But this is Boys Club for a couple more months anyway, and then they're going to join the girls, and they'll be with the girls until we wean the lambs next spring. I'll do another video on my different electric fence setups. I did spend some money on some electric fence chargers, like these nice ones from Premier One, and I've got a couple different kinds of electric fence. So I'll turn this off so I don't get zapped. This one that doesn't have any real grounding issues with grass touching it puts out the full 8,000 volts. And let me tell you, when you get whacked through both arms with 8,000 volts, you know it for sure. So these are our boys. This is Atlas. He's our breeder. He's a proven ram, so he sired some babies last year, and he is ready to get the job done for us, hopefully this year as well. And this is Pokey. If you go back and watch our video from last year when we went up to Eve's place and met them for the first time, we got to see Pokey then. So she ended up passing him along to us, which is great. He's like a dog. He'll just hang out here. Look at him. He's pushing Atlas back out of the way. You want some scratching, Atlas? How you doing, mister? Pokey. Oh, you look good. Yeah. How you doing this morning, You guys need some grass, I know. We'll get you on grass soon. In the meantime, they eat a whole bale. Well, look at the ground. They don't eat a whole bale of hay. They go through a whole bale of hay about every 3 days or so. They're supposed to eat about 10 pounds a day, So that would make sense, but you can see how much hay is on the ground and wasted. Just craziness. So that's the other thing I notice with the ewes. When I get them out on pasture, they eat probably at least 60-70% less hay than these guys for sure when they're cooped up, and they also drink a lot less water. So they get a lot of water from the grass. How you doing, guys? Pokey. It's a boy. He's gentle and great. He's still trying to figure out his way with Atlas. It's pretty funny. We've seen him try to mount Atlas several times. Atlas is the young one, thinking he's boss, and he will be at some point. Look, you can see he's just starting to get his mane on his chest. So that'll be really nice. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful Atlas. Gotta be careful with him though. Man, he's solid. He butted me in the thigh one day, and my son Alex was feeding him yesterday and said that Alex gave him a little bump, so we gotta watch that for sure. He gets a running start, he would take you out. Right? I'm telling you. Alright, I'll bring you boys some hay in a little bit. Alright, let's go move the chickens and feed the meat birds, and then we'll say bye, and I'll finish up my chores. I tell you, I follow lots of people on YouTube, and I don't know how they have the time to film these videos every day and get them up within a day or so, and add all the additional time to filming. We'll see. A couple more weeks, I get the house off my plate. Maybe I can get back to doing a little bit more regularly. I certainly have some cool stuff to show you. Things that we built and why we did things the way that we did. And I would certainly love to get some more video of the goats playing. And of little feller playing with the goats. How you guys doing? You want to smell the boys? What do you think of that? Those boys would kick your butt, mister. Yes, they would. Huh? Yeah. Alright. It is time for meat chickens. So I figured I'd give you a quick peek at the do-it-yourself solution for portable electric fencing. So here's my high-tech system for keeping the rain off of this. And as you can see, I just built a little wooden stand, literally with just scrap pressure-treated wood that I had kicking around. I got this charger for about $100. It puts out just over 1 joule, 1.25 or 1.34 joules or something like that, and a $25-$30 battery from Home Depot or Lowe's, just a lawn and garden tractor battery. And then I found this T-post type galvanized grounding rod and a little clamp I got at Lowe's, and some of that grounding, shielded grounding wire. And up on this end I put a clip, and there you go. So this whole setup was about $150 maybe, compared to $450 for the awesome sealed solar charging one. This one will run the fence for at least a couple weeks probably. If you have a couple of batteries, you can just kind of swap them out, but when you don't have it in the budget, you got to make do with what you got. So this worked out pretty well. Originally we had the fence running from over there, and we would just loop it around the front. You can see the trail as you come along here where the meat chickens have been. But then we ran out of space, so I had to set up a second charger. So let's grab this food and I will show you our chicken tractor setup. My original plan was to have some of these tractors out in the pasture, protected by the electric fence that goes around the whole perimeter, which obviously is not up yet. But I realized I couldn't have this style chicken tractor in with the sheep or the goats because they'd be jumping on it. There's my high-tech system for securing these two pieces of fence together. Open the gate. Let's take a look. So what I've done here is just a wooden frame with chicken wire. Got some cheap wheels on the back. Stapled all the chicken wire. And I put this tarp on the top, which is framed. We lift this up. You can see it's framed with just 1x and chicken wire. I use troughs for gutters. Put those across the front here. So the first thing I do is put the food in there, and then they all run to this end, and it's pretty easy to drag them. Nobody sticks around at the back to get run over. And back here, I just added a couple of those bucket waterers with the nipples, and both of these probably need to be filled. There's some left in that one. But that's how it's working, and we move them twice a day. Probably going to pull about 30% or so of these guys out of this tractor, and I'm going to do just a separate fenced-in area with a little movable sun and rain shade, and bring the rest of those from the chicken shelter back there that I showed you in that wooden brooder, and split them out a little bit, because you can see the amount of poop here from just half a day with these guys is still pretty heavy. As long as we move it twice a day, it doesn't get completely destroyed. Although look at this, it looks like yesterday was clearly a longer day. They sat here, is that yesterday? Yeah, that would have been the night before, I guess. We must have moved them earlier the night before, and they definitely sat here longer than they did there, and certainly longer than they did right here. So that's about it for today and the update. It's been so long. I wanted to let you guys know that we were alive and still progressing on our journey to self-reliance, and that we're making some good progress. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll do a little bit more detailed videos in the near future. Crazy bugs this morning. A little bit more detailed videos about the chicken shelter and maybe how we built the chicken tractor. We've got chicken processing day on September 15th, so I'll definitely do a video of that. We extracted a bunch of honey from our bees. I don't know, I've got so many videos that I shot that I just never have time to edit. So a couple more weeks of insanity trying to get our house on the market, and then hopefully we'll get videos up a little more regularly. So hope all is well with you guys. Hope you enjoyed the summer, and we'll talk soon.